Morning, morning, morning. So last time I talked about first or third person, which is right for your website. And I had a question to that. A question come in from Deanne who asked an even more basic question. Do you actually need a website? As a service-based business, do I need a website? Some people say yes, some people say no. Which is right? And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking this is just one of those classic, it's just calling out for a it depends kind of answer, isn't it? And I could do that, but I don't want to. I've done the it depends thing before. It's not good. So let's take a bold stance on this. I'll give you a definitive, unequivocal answer to the question, do you need a website, Deanne? And the answer is yes. But not for exactly the reasons you might imagine. So before we do this, let's have a look at this word need, because people say they need a lot of things before they set up in business or as a service-based business. And I wrote an email about this recently where I talked about branding, where we all know somebody who says, oh, you know what, I'll get clients once I've got my blank in order. Once I've got my slogan, once I've got my logo, once I've got my business cards, once I've got my, compliment slips ready, then I'll start, then I'll approach Mrs. Miggins and ask if I can cut a lawn for 25 quid. Then I'll do that once I've got my slogan. And it's this idea of what do we actually need as a service business to make money. And I would argue the only thing you actually need is an offer, is a skill, a service that you can offer to somebody and say, can I cut your lawn? It's 25 quid, yay or nay. That's my entire pitch. And businesses, especially service businesses, stymie themselves with the thought of, I need this before I do this. And it often comes down into this idea of branding, like I need business cards so I have a brand, and then I can approach customers so they know what I'm about. And the thing is, if you're let's go with a mowing analogy. If you're mowing Mrs. Miggins' lawn and you want her to think that if you want your brand to be, I do a good job, I'm friendly and I'm professional and punctual. If that's your entire brand, that's not a logo. It's not a slogan. It's not something on a compliment slip. Your branding is how people talk about you when you're not there. So if you want people to talk about you going, oh, does a great job, he's professional and he's friendly, then do a great job, be professional, be friendly. Do that over and over and over again, and you'll give people no choice. That will be the only thing they can actually say about you, because it's what you actually do. So if you're getting caught behind this idea of branding that you need stuff in place, don't. If you want people to think you're professional and good at your job, be professional, be good at your job. Don't give them a choice. That's how they'll talk about you, because you've given them no other evidence to the contrary. So let's talk about what we actually need. And we're veering dangerously close to something a trap that Cal Newport talks about, the any benefit mindset. We need something just in case it's going to be any help. We might as well have a Facebook page, because if it gets me one client, I might as well. And this is a dangerous trap to get into. When you look around at all the things that are free and available, and you think, I might as well get it, because if it's any benefit at all, it's worth it, it's dangerous. Because not only does it end up with social media accounts, you'll end up driving around villages, pinning your business card to parish notice boards just on the off chance it lands you one gig. And the thing you've got to remember is that this is true for marketing as many aspects of your business, is this idea that everything you do costs you time, effort, and money. Because it takes time to create a website. It takes effort and mental energy to do that. And it takes money to do it. If you're not paying somebody else, you're effectively paying yourself to do your website. And that's time, effort, and money you could be putting on other stuff that you know works. Time, effort, and money is a lot of stuff to give away for something that you think you need. So let's get away from do I need a website? Let's ask a better question. And the better question I would implore you to ask is, what am I need a website because. What can you answer that question to? Why do I need a website? What's the end result I'm hoping it will achieve? Once you've got the end result, then you can evaluate whether a website is the best way to do that. And it might well be. And like I say, I'm going to argue that you should have a website, though we'll get to the reason for that in a second. But let's take two different people. Let's say you're a wedding photographer. You've no past clients, you're brand new to the market, you've no referrals, you don't know anybody, and you've moved to a brand new town, and you want to become the go-to wedding photographer. Well, you might start by going to wedding fairs and getting your work out in front of people. But you'll soon realise that brides make decisions once they've been to a few wedding fairs and seen a few people. They go back home, put the kettle on, sit down, analyse stuff and make a decision. So you might argue as a brand new wedding photographer that you need a website because Facebook and Insta are all well and good, but you know, I really want to create a corner of the web where I can showcase my work exactly how I like. You know, I want to take customers and evoke emotions on journeys, and I want to have this photo as my homepage, and I want it to lead to this, and there's a path in my mind that I want to take them on, and I can't do that on social media or Facebook. I need a website to do that. And you go, excellent. In that case, maybe a website is a good choice for you. But at the other end of the spectrum, if you're Jack Jones, eighth generation master craftsman, master builder, and you only work in the little village of Flitwick, if that's your niche, if that's your market, and every generation before you of Jack Jones, the name Jack Jones is synonymous with awesome building. Everybody in Flitwick knows who you are. So whenever somebody says in Flitwick, builder, immediately like a Pavlovian reaction, everybody goes, Jack Jones, 428 691. And they've got your phone number memorised. So you've got the reputation, you're the only builder in the village that anybody remembers, and you do great work. You might not need a website. You might be besieged by work. You might have more work than you can possibly handle. So you might not need a website in that case. It's not doing anything for you. So the first step, Deanne, is getting clear on what you want it to do. If I would argue that if you're doing it because it's the done thing, or it feels like the right thing, or because everybody else is doing it, they're not the strongest reasons. Have a very clear motive as to why you want a website, and then go from there, see if it's the best tool for the job. The other thing is, and this is an important one, so for example, I have a website, and this is the reason I'm going to ask you to have one. I have a website because I need a place to put my work. Now, you can't book me on my website. If you go to insertgaghere.com, there's only a couple of tabs to click on. You can either join my email list or read what I've written. That's it. Those are the only two options on that website. I'm not even sure my email address is on there. I'm not sure. I don't know why I'm looking up. Maybe it's up there. But I'm not even sure if my email address is on there. But what I realised was I could post to Facebook and all these social media platforms and even Medium and stuff like that. But if I got kicked off, I'd lose everything. So my website is like an online portfolio of my work. Anything I ever write, even the videos and podcasts that I do, everything gets posted up there. Everything. So I have this online portfolio, and every single day it's backed up. So I get an email saying, here's the content that you've updated, and I can store it. And I've got essentially this kind of, not realistically, but I've got somewhere on the internet all my data. So if it vanishes, I can put it somewhere else. It's safe. I can control it. So if a client comes to me and says, you know, I want to see what emails you write, that's awesome. I can send them to the section of my website categorized by emails, and they can see every single email I've ever sent my entire list. It's there. Similarly with things like social media posts and ads and stuff like that, I put everything up there. So it's an online portfolio. Also, more than that is, I think it's really important to have a place that you can control, that you can send people to. So if somebody's Googling you, they can see your side of the story. Now, I realise saying your side of the story sounds a little bit like some kind of legal battle. But with so many sites popping up, things like review sites and Facebook recommendations and reviews, and these sites gain prominence, I think it's important to have a space on the internet where they can just get your side of things. Your side of things, so they can read what you're about. They're not relying on other people's opinions. So if they Google you, they can take in this other stuff, but they can go to your website and get a good feel about you as well as a person. So even if you only have your corner of the internet, and it's not, you don't have to update it every single day with a new blog post or a new what I'm doing now or anything like that. It's just a space you can call your own, just this little controllable space where you can showcase your work in the best way, and also point people to, and people can find you, and it will just offset anything else that anybody ever says about you. Because if you don't have that, people are going to judge you by the best available evidence. And if the best available evidence is a bunch of reviews or he said, she said, they said, then you're not showcasing yourself in the best light. You're not protecting yourself or your business. So whether you use it to point traffic to, whether you use it to get new leads or anything like that, Facebook ads, Here's what I'd say, Deanne. Grab yourself a corner of the internet, have a website, if only just to establish your base. Put down your flag and go, here I am. If you want to know about me, this is where you do it. And I don't know what business you do, Deanne, but if you're a writer or anything like that, you've got work that you want to showcase, anything you put on there is under your control. You can back it up, save it, and should Facebook shut down or Instagram or anything like that, you've always got your stuff safe. So think about that as well. The online portfolio and having your section of the internet where you can always point people to for your side of things and just make camp. So I hope that was useful. I think all service businesses should have a website, whether they ever point customers to it or not. But those are the reasons why. I hope that was useful. If you, like Deanne, have got a question you want me to answer, feel free to fire it in the comment below or email me at john@insertgaghere.com. And I'll see you next time.